Happy Monday! It's 9 o'clock on Monday. What's up? I hope y'all are doing good. I know with all the weather and things, but I hope that everyone is safe. Does everyone have power? And that, that kind of brings me into my introduction about our talk tonight. But know that I've been thinking about you and I've been praying for you. And that, right now as I'm sitting live, I have a friend that's telling me that, they just got out to connect. And so I'm thinking and praying that everyone is being provided for and taken care of. Hey, Glenda, thank you for tuning in. I hope that many of you, I hope that you all have not lost a lot in this storm. And then some of you where you are, you may not have even experienced any kind of weather. But as I kind of sat and spent some time with the Lord right before this evening started, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, I usually just kind of have to sit and kind of see what's going on. I'm so glad to see Trisha. That's a new name. Hey, girl. But as I was kind of sitting, I was thinking on what to talk about. And hey. And this is just a perfect time. I'm not going to make you sad because it's all about positivity. Hey, Elizabeth, I hope that you're recovering well. But just within the past few weeks, a family lost the life of a son, a 6-year-old child. People have lost generations by inclement weather. And what I mean by generations are masses of people who have been, have had their lives taken away, or people who have had possessions taken away from them that have lost things. A lot of us are experiencing lack right now, whether that's financial lack, whether it's lack of electricity, or whether it's in progress.
Mommy, what do you got me?
A kiss and a hug. I love you. I love you. Good night. Say good night.
Good night.
Okay, I love you.
Are you talking to them?
I am.
But I can't hear them.
No, there's nothing to hear. They're waiting for me to speak. So you've got to go so I can finish talking to them. Hey, Tanika. Okay, so go. Say good night. Go back upstairs to Daddy. All right, go back upstairs to Daddy.
Are you talking to her?
I am.
A marker. A red marker.
Haley, good night.
Good night.
I love you. Go back upstairs, please.
A hug and a kiss.
Thank you.
Give me.
Okay. Bye.
Good night. Say Mama. Mama, are you going to drive this week again? And you better pick me up at my school.
Sorry. Thank you. So hi, Tanika. Hi, Fertrell. Hi.
Hi, Anika.
Hi, Ari.
Hi, Ari.
Yeah, tell her. Thank you, Tanika. She says time for bed. They're all saying good night. She says time for bed. Good night.
Time for bed.
Yes. So go to bed.
Go to bed.
Bye. I love you.
Go to bed.
Hey, Barbara Jean. Don't laugh at me, Fertrell. Okay. So we were in a serious moment. Talking about things that we are lacking. This could be of time. Well, it is a time of sadness, and I'm going to give you a warning about this because I'm going to end all of those things by saying that we must count our blessings. There's so much that we are blessed with, and so we must count our blessings. And we have to remember that somebody always has it worse. Someone always has it worse. Now, I do not want to discount anyone's feelings. I do not want to what's the word? I don't want to discount or I don't want to discredit anything that anyone is feeling. So please hear me when I say that. I'm not telling you that you cannot feel, okay? I'm not telling you that. However, I'm giving you this tonight, this little talk that we talk about tonight. I want it to inspire you. Okay, so if you're in a den, if there's something that you're feeling, if it's sorrow or sadness, definitely embrace that. Feel it out. But I want to make sure that I can help inspire you to feel it out, like to leave it and get out of it. Hey, David. Okay, so my intention is to inspire. I want to keep that with you. But what I want to talk about tonight is how to gracefully grow in gratitude. And what I mean by that is a lot of times people say, well, if you're thankful, be thankful. You know, keep the perspective of being thankful. Keep the perspective of being grateful. Show gratitude, show gratitude, show gratitude. And sometimes I do that as if I'm dragging my feet through mud, like it's something, it's like it's a chore. Like, oh, I'm so tired. Okay, well, at least I'm alive. Or I'm kind of trudging through the dirt and trudging through the mud. You know, thank God I'm eating, but I would love to go to Longhorn Steakhouse. But here I am. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich for me, grilled cheese for the kid. This one doesn't eat cheese, so it'll be chicken noodle soup for him. And then Dash is going to eat a bowl of Frosted Flakes. Okay? And so sometimes within the midst of that, like, yeah, we can smile and we can be grateful, but it's not always easy, right? So I was just reflecting on how to do that gracefully. How to be filled with gratitude gracefully. Thanks for the thumbs up. Hey, Rachel, it's good to see you. And I'm going to tell you something so smart that Rachel did earlier. I was so impressed. Rachel and a few of the friends on here, I'm super glad to see you guys, and I'm glad that you chose us tonight. I know that some of you are dealing with some power issues and different things like that, but I checked in with some of you, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. And thank you so much for giving me your time. But anyway, first thing we want to talk about is grace. It's grace that gives us great perspective. We get through a lot of things that we could possibly be dragging ourselves through. We get through it so much beautifully because of the grace that's been provided for us. Here's the story. So we have been blessed with 2 cars. We have a smaller car that Dad usually drives around town, and then, well, before I kind of flipped jobs, but anyway, we have a smaller car that's usually good for small family trips that we just kind of drive around town. You know, one of us wanted the kids, just something that we drive around town. And then we have a bigger family car, what we call a family car. You kind of, I guess it would kind of be like Sunday car, or it would be the car that we go to visit friends and family. Well, while I was with the kids at serve night at our church last night, the big family car started to putt-putt. And I don't know if you all know what I mean by it putt-putting, but it started to putt-putt. And it wasn't a very happy putt-putt, like going out with your family to play miniature golf. It wasn't that kind of putt-putt, Wanda. Hey! But it was a not so desirable putt-putt. So it's so funny because as my husband called, of course he called me while I was at church because there was something that I could do about it then. I don't know what it was, but there must have been something because he called me, right? So as he's talking about it, my mind is already turning. You know, what does this mean about tomorrow's routine? What does this mean about tomorrow's routine? How are the kids going to get to school? Who's going to work? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? How are we going to do this first, right? So immediately my brain was bombarded with inconvenience. See, Fertrell knows about the putt-putt. Yep, it was putt-putting. So I already knew that if one car was putt-putting, that means the other car is not, right? So that just means a big family and one car. So already, all these thoughts of inconvenience is just crowding into my head. And I'm just thinking about, first I was thinking very selfishly. I was thinking, what's going to happen to mommy's routine? And how is it going to be orchestrated differently? Because usually I'm the one that gets up first. I can get ready. I can get, set everything up. And I get out of the house and I get to work. Because where I work on my day job is 40 minutes away. And so I can be out of the way. I go to work. I get there. I'm Grace, praise the Lord for Dad. Dad is the one that gets the kids up, gets them dressed, gets them fed, gets them out the door. But I'm already like, there's only one car. There's only one car. So that's not going to happen, right? So I'm going through all of these things, all of these things, all of these things. And thank God for grace. Thank God for perspective. It did not go as hectic as it could have gone. You know, we all got out of the house in decent time. We all had shoes on. We all had clothes on. All the backpacks were fully prepared for the day. All these things went well. Yes, it wasn't madness. They were even fed. They were even given like a semi-decent meal to be carried into the car. So as I finally get into the car, I sit in the driver's seat, I breathe, right? Because I'm like, okay, we're in the car. So now we just have to take the trail with the one car. We have to take the trail from dropping off my son at his school, dropping off my husband at his job, dropping off my daughter at her daycare, and then trekking it on to Malden, where my day will start, my work day will start, right? So sometimes all that stuff will be really intense. Sometimes it will be really serious. But one of the lighter moments, and you have to give me hearts if you love this, but one of the best moments of this morning, Haley was so fascinated with the fact that we were all in the same car and that we were all doing things together. And that we were all, she was just like, who are we going to drop off next? Mommy, why are you still here? You're still here. You're going to take me into my school. You're going to watch me. You're going to walk me into my school. And then when you get done, who are you going to pick up first? And then you're going to pick up yourself first. And then you're going to pick me up. And then you're going to go pick up Daddy. And then you're going to pick up Grayson. And then you're going to go home. And then you're going to cook food, right? And she was so fascinated with the fact that this morning we were all together. And it just gave me a few seconds to really think about it. She gave me that perspective to be grateful that we had that opportunity. Now, you know what everybody knows, a sick car is not fun. You know, one thing that my dear mother, hello Barbara, she's on. But one thing I remember clearly growing up is that when her car was down, she was clear to let somebody know that she did not like it when her car was sick, because when she was ready to get out the door and go, she was ready to get out the door and go. And you know, it's not easy to do that when you have a car that's down. But she offered, my sweet daughter that came to tell us goodnight, offered some perspective in that moment. It could have been a very hectic moment. It could have been a very stressful moment, but I'm proud to say that I met God halfway by maintaining my sanity. But then God blessed a child who offered a little love in the moment. And I did take a moment to say, you know, thank you, God, thank you. We all are together. You know, it possibly could be an inconvenience, but we all are together in this moment. And we're going to be spending a little more time together as we get the putt out of the car. But anyway, so that's just a little peek into grace. Next thing I want to talk about is growth. And this part is kind of exciting. There's always some journey associated with what we feel like we lack. It could be that we've experienced abundance in some way, right? Because we had to have had something at some time before we could feel as if we're lacking in it, correct? Or whether it was some kind of take on something that we saw with someone else, we had to have been somewhere to experience some kind of lack. So there should have been some time that we were in abundance. So this is something that Stephen Furtick, who's a pastor here in Charlotte, offered, and I can share that sermon. I think it's already in the group somewhere, but if it's not, I can share it in the group. But it's something that I really appreciate, and he made a little illustration. I'm going to change it up a little bit, so I'm going to see if you could put it on this card. But let's just imagine that you're on a race. You're in a race, okay? Okay, so let's say that you are in the back of the race. Oh, you like my drawing skills? Yeah. And I'm gonna make a finish line at the end. so I don't have a whiteboard for you guys so that I can demonstrate. So I'm gonna write finish. Okay, so here we go. Here's the little person. He's feeling okay. He's running to the finish line. Yes, follow me, follow me. Something that we have to be clear of is a lot of times when we're on our journey, and I'm a little farther away from this finish line than I want to be, but I'm happy. Okay, so let's just look at this, right? So here I am in the past, and let's just pretend that I'm in motion. I'm not a very good artist at, you know what? I'm not going to say that because we are learning how to flip our thoughts, aren't we? I'm temporarily unable to show these action figures in motion. So let's just talk about them from right here. So here I am in the past. I'm moving towards my goals and my finish line. And a lot of times when we're here, we get frustrated, we get discouraged, and we can't help but to turn around and say, what in the world? What am I doing? Hold up a second. This is not going the way that I want it to go, right? But what we have to realize is that this, where we're right here, this is actually growth. So let that represent growth. And growth is good, right? Because we're not going backwards. We're growing. Okay, so growth. Yes? And when we look back, this space, all that it took to get here from here, okay, so this little spot right here is what we're going to identify as gratitude. That's where the gratitude is. And it kind of took all of that. I know that it may seem simple to you guys, but that's kind of where it all just kind of opened up for me. Was realizing, sorry, somebody called. So I must realize that when I'm along on my journey, here I am, I'm growing, so I've moved forward. But when I look back, I shouldn't look back on like being discouraged or be like, oh my gosh, I want to go back to that spot. Okay, here's an example. Here's me, let's say, me in college. First year, no. I did last a year. Okay, so second year, college, undergrad, second year, first semester, I was at home, living the life, going to USC Sumter, eat my mama's food, sleeping in my own bed, hanging out with my old friends, correct? Okay, you follow me? It was a good life, good life. Financial aid was probably paying for some classes. I don't even remember if I worked. I probably did. Knowing me, I probably did, but I don't remember it. But here I am at home, yes? And so I'm seeing this future. I want, let's just say, of family life, having everything that's provided for, okay? So right here in my little race, I might be right here, right? So I got out of my mom's house. You know, the next semester I actually came up here to upstate, found a husband, found a job. It's all good when you find that, you know, for people who want that in life, when you find those two things, then you stick around, right? So here I am. Do I have am I in my place of abundance that I want to be in everything that I'm doing? No, I'm not. Okay, now I could easily stand here and I could easily look back and I could say, oh, my life was so good. Why didn't I just stay home? Why did I need a family? Why did I have to finish school and get my own? You know, I could look back and I can regret all these choices that I made, all these things that I'm doing. But I must be grateful for the experiences that I had and realize the growth that I've had. And most of the time, with this little chart, what you'll find out is that many times you're a lot closer to the finish. You're a lot closer. If I had my little perspective right, I would want my little guy probably like right here. A lot of times we're looking back, regretting not being back here, but a lot of times we don't realize that we're so close. Okay, so keep that little picture in your head because it keeps me humble. You know, anytime that I'm thinking of something, I'm thinking it's so far away, something that I want to achieve, I feel like it's so far away, I thank God for the growth, right? Not going to keep you long. So the final point that I want to talk about is the gratitude. When we talk about past, present, and future, I want to encourage you, be thankful that you have a journey. I don't want to think of it as the past, but be thankful that you have a journey. My kids, they have this little toy that has like little sticks, and then it has like little bulbs, and there's holes all around the bulbs, so that they can take the sticks and they can connect them into the bulbs, and they can create structures, right? They can make connections and make little houses or tunnels or whatever it is. I think they only took it out and played with it once. But it's okay. I thought it was pretty cool. But they have all these connecting pieces. A lot of times when you have toys that are created to make structures, many times they have little connectors, right? So I strongly feel that your past, your story, your history are those connectors. Those are going to be the pieces that are going to connect you with someone else. And what you'll find after a while is that all of your relationships and all of your friendships that are all connecting are going to build some type of structure, are going to build something that will help you propel into your future. It will build some kind of tool to keep you moving forward. So I say show gratitude for your story. Okay, and that's what I'm thinking about in context of the past. Be thankful for your story. Okay, show gratitude for your presence. Be anxious about nothing. Know that you are taken care of. Be easy within the moment. Now, I know all that is so hard. I promise you, these Monday motivations are also for me to motivate myself. I promise you that. But you must live in the present, because we can miss so many things. We can miss so many things. It just happened. It almost just happened. My kid came up, right, before we started, right? Of course, for those of you that are here, you saw her, yes. She came up and she said, "Mommy, what do you have for me?" And she said it maybe twice or three times before I caught it. But she said, "Mommy, what do you have for me?" Now, I could have not lived in the present, and I could have gotten really frustrated, and I could have asked her, started asking her earlier to leave and to go back upstairs. But I almost missed the moment. I had to live in that present moment. And what she was saying, what she was referring to, was that when I pick her up from school, when I have the opportunity to pick her up from daycare, she got into the habit of saying, "Mommy, what do you have for me? I'm hungry. What do you have for me?" And I would go, I don't have anything. All I've got is a kiss and a hug. And I just started saying that. I was just being witty me, smart alecky me. And I spent some time just saying a kiss and a hug. Nope, I don't have anything but a kiss and a hug. And she got into the habit of that, saying, "What do you have for me?" So when I pick her up, she said, "What do you have for me? What do you have for me?" She's like, "You got a kiss and a hug? Do you have a kiss and a hug?" And so I almost missed that moment, because if I had just cut her off and shoot her upstairs, I would have missed that moment. Now, it may seem small, but it's just so easy to kind of get wrapped up in where we're going next, what we're going to do next, what do we have to get done. All these things is so easy to get wrapped up in that we miss a lot of present moments. So it's really important that we're in that moment, present in the moment. Thank you for the hearts. But that I just thought of that, because at first when she said it, I'm just thinking, Haley, I don't have anything. Haley, I don't have anything. The girl loves candy. So I'm thinking, I don't have anything for you. But yeah, that's what she was talking about, kiss and hug. Anyway. And lastly, be grateful for having vision. And that's what I like to talk about when we think about the future, and when we get really excited about what is kind of previewed to us and what we kind of see potentially of what could happen or what could be. Just be grateful that we have little pieces and little things that we could ache for and yearn for and work towards. So I'm very grateful for vision. You guys are part of my vision. And going back to where I kind of started in the beginning, times like these is definitely, it means a lot to me to have a place where I know that there's positivity. And I said the status very quickly yesterday, but I had to go back and clarify because I wanted to make it clear what kind of vision that I saw for Pocket Full of Sunshine. I really wanted a place where people could come and they could depend and they could rely and they could believe that it would be positive. We know most of the issues that are going on right now. And I don't believe that we have to be inundated with it, if that's the right word. But we don't have to be covered up in it. We don't need post after post after post after post. Driving just driving it in. You can't beat a dead horse, I guess, or those are probably not very good words, but we know a lot of the sadness, we know a lot of the destruction, we know a lot of the hate that is going around, and I truly believe that what is important is that we focus in on love, because it really, truly, 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 truly does conquer it all. Now, I'm not saying that we should kick sand over issues. I'm not saying that we shouldn't stand for something. But my vision for Pocket Full of Sunshine is to be a place to give just that, sunshine. I have opinions, I have feelings, I have things that I feel very strongly about, and I have arenas and places where I voice those, but I want you to know that you definitely have a safe place within this group where we can be positive. Anytime that we want to pick up, we can find it here. I just had a friend that posted today, okay, taking my break off of Facebook. See you guys later. If you need me, text me. I don't want it to be like that. Facebook was supposed to be for social networking, and we can't do that if we're running and hiding because of all the yuckity yuck in our feeds, right? So don't be shy. Make this group your favorite. And if you have a friend who's under the weight of the world and the weight of what's being publicized on Facebook, then definitely ask them if they'd like to be a member of this group, because it could benefit them. But we are done for tonight. I love you all. Let me know that you're doing good. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We got a pretty good crowd tonight. Is everybody good? I know there's a little bit of a delay, but give me a thumbs up if you're good. Give me hearts. Any questions? Next week, we will be back in what to say when you talk to yourself. We are on chapters. Thank you, Ari, for the hearts. Thank you, Rachel. Ooh, hearts and thumbs ups everywhere. I love you. I really do. Thank you, Wanda. But next week, we're going to pick up with chapters 7, 8, and 9. I do hope that you guys have been wearing your rubber bands, and I hope that you have been taking that negative self-talk and turning it around, because you are going to be in for an amazing treat next week. We are going to start working on affirmations, and affirmations are statements that will change your life. And so I was just chatting with a friend last week about how she needed to start it up again, and I was just listening to a video today, and the person made a very good point. They said, if your visions, the things that you see for yourself are helping and serving and outreaching to others, and you're allowing things like negative self-talk to get into the way of that, just think of how much time you've lost or how many people that you've missed the opportunity to serve. So every day is a new day. So we definitely want to continue to break down the walls of negative self-talk and find ways to help build you up so that you can live that awesome life that God has intended you to. Okay. I love you all. Have a great night. Feel free to share this video with anyone that you feel like needs it. Invite any friends to the group, and stay positive. Love y'all. Happy Monday. Bye.